Hello everyone, today I'm going to talk to you about IELTS pie charts in writing task 1. One important thing to remember when talking about pie charts is that similar to line graphs and bar graphs, basically you're doing comparisons. In the case of pie charts, you have to pay attention to the percentages and any significant changes in the periods of each or the period of each pie chart. So today I'm going to present to you a sample answer, and we're going to go some of the important things to remember, some of the transitional words that you can use in other questions as well. In the example that we have today, the pie charts talk about the types of music media used in 3 separate periods. We have 1990, 2000, and 2010. When I say 1990, I'm talking about a decade, 10 years. Same with 2000, 2010. The first thing we need to notice is that the types of music media used in the 90s, the 2000s, compact disc CDs, digital audio MP3, 2010, CD, MP3, vinyl record. First thing you will notice is that something disappeared in this period. We have cassette, CD, vinyl. Here we have CD, MP3. This is a significant change that we have to talk about, of course. And also the percentages of each on the chart. In the sample answer that we have today, we're going to have an introduction, a body, and conclusion to make it easier for you guys to understand. We're going to start with an introduction. The pie charts depict the types of audio media used in 1990, 2000, and 2010 respectively. Respectively means individually. And again, I'm not talking about a period from to. So the words we used here, depict instead of the word show. You can also use the word illustrate. We have respectively, and then in the next sentence we have as outlined in the pie charts, or as shown in the pie charts. 4 types of audio media are used, including cassette, compact disc CD, vinyl records, and MP3s. So basically we introduced the pie charts, what they represent, and included that in the introduction. Next, we're going to talk about each of the pie charts separately and talk about the most significant changes that happened in each period. In the 1990s, the most popular audio format was the compact disc or CD. Remember this phrase, the most popular. The most popular. The opposite to that is the least popular. And these are phrases that you will use when talking about or describing information on charts. So the most popular audio format, instead of saying the highest percentage was for CD, I can say the most popular audio format was the compact disc or CD. How do I know? Because it's occupying 55% of the market in the 1990s. So we have the CD, this color, 55%. So it's the most popular audio format, the compact disc. So first we're going to talk about the highest trends, and here we have the CD. How much does it make? So we talked about that. Then we have to report the percentage, making up just half or just over half, because half is 50, just over half is 55%. The market at 55%. So just over half the market at 55%. Now the remaining, what's left, how much? 35%. 25 plus 20. 25% was fairly equally shared. Fairly equally shared between vinyl at 20% and cassette tape at 25%. Because if you combine those two, we have 45. That's why it's not 50, so we say fairly equally shared. Alright? Interestingly, this is another transitional word you can use. In the following decade, which is 2000, what happened? The use of vinyl, alright, as media type had completely disappeared. So people stopped using vinyl records. Alright? And the market was dominated by, so here again, the most popular in that period, again we express that by using the phrase dominated by compact discs. So the most popular in this period is the CD, 95%. We have to report the percentage as well. This is shown by the large portion, which makes up 95% of media used for audio. So again, we reported the highest trend and then the percentage. Again, the remaining, what's left, how much? 5% is represented by cassette. Also, we reported that. So we can also add a sentence. We can say that people are now less interested in using the cassette as a music media format. All right. However, now something different. By 2010, what happened to vinyl? It's coming back to the market. However, with a small percentage. So, however, by 2010, vinyl reappeared, meaning appeared again at 5% of the total audio media in use. Opposite to 2000. Now, what happened? What's the difference between this period and 2000? CDs became much less popular at 35%. So, CDs were very popular in the 2000s, and now they're only at 35%. This is a significant change that we have to report. Obviously, another transitional word, the market had shifted to digital media or MP3s, which made up well over half. Remember, before we said just over half. Now we're saying well over half. All right. So well over half the media in use at 60%. So half 50, well over half is 60. In addition, another transitional word, in 2010, cassette had completely disappeared while vinyl records made a comeback, returned 5% of the popular use. Now, to conclude, meaning, when you look at these pie charts and information, what do they suggest? By comparing these trends and changes in popularity in these decades, this word actually should be S and not D, what can we infer? It can be inferred. What's the conclusion that we can come to? It can be inferred that CDs had a short period of popularity, meaning they appeared at certain period and then their popularity decreased and were then replaced by digital audio or media. It is likely that the application of vinyl, now in the end, what happened to vinyl? It reappeared, had changed in popularity also from 1990 to 2000 because it was popular to a certain extent in 1990 with 20%, and now this changed to 5%, and we can say that the application of vinyl records had changed from 1990 to 2010 due to or because of their sudden disappearance in 2000 and then reappearance, which caused people probably to feel some kind of nostalgia or to want to use vinyl records again. Alright guys, so again, to quickly summarize, what we did here is we compared the information represented on each pie chart according to each different period. And we also talked about the most significant changes on these charts. Alright, if you want to practice a little bit at home, I'll give you this question guys, and basically it's very similar. However, you have two pie charts, and the question, the two graphs show the main sources of energy in the USA in the 1980s and the 1990s. Write a report for a university lecturer describing the changes which occurred. So what changes can you see between the 80s and 90s on the sources of energy in the US in these two periods? And we have oil, natural gas, coal, hydroelectric power, nuclear power. Alright guys, if you want to write a report and send it to me, I can give you feedback for that. And for now, I'm going to conclude by saying I hope that you find this lesson beneficial. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next lesson.